It should perhaps be no surprise that the eggs of the spine soldier bug, Podicus maculiventris, are also spiny. The small round eggs have openings that are surrounded by short spikes. It is not this odd appearance, though, that makes these stink bug eggs so unusual. The spine soldier bug is the only species that is known to be able to change the color of its eggs at will. When the insects lay their eggs on the light underside of a leaf, the eggs are almost white. When the same insect lays eggs on the top of a leaf, then they are darker, sometimes black. It is thought that the darker eggs on the more exposed upper surface of the leaf have more protection from ultraviolet light. No one knows how the insect is able to alter the appearance of its eggs. Researchers are not even certain what chemicals inside the eggs produce the darker colors. Praying mantises are well known for both their extraordinary prowess as hunters and somewhat unusual mating practices, which sometimes end with the female killing and consuming the male after, or sometimes during, sex. But here, we will focus on the strange structures they produce once they are ready to lay their eggs. After the mantis mating season, you may spot large, papery objects appearing on branches. Known as oothecae, these structures are produced at the same time as the mother lays her eggs. The mother produces a special foamy substance that covers the eggs and hardens them into the ootheca, which protects the eggs. The ootheca can take a number of shapes, and many of them look like something straight out of a horror film. When the eggs, up to 400, inside hatch, the scene can be equally scary, as a mass of miniature mantises spew out. Glass frogs are a fascinating group of creatures to study and somewhat easy to study internally because they are partially see-through from underneath. This means you can see their bones and internal organs if you flip the frogs over. But here, their eggs and how they develop interest us. A male glass frog will find a leaf that hangs over running water and begin to make its mating call. When a female comes to the leaf, the pair mate. Then, the female lays its eggs on the leaf, and the eggs stay in place thanks to a jelly-like substance. The female and sometimes the male stay to guard the eggs. When the eggs hatch, the tadpoles seem trapped, but thanks to gravity, they soon tumble off the leaf and into the water. While many creatures who lay eggs abandon them as soon as they are out, some species spend a great deal of time caring for their unhatched babies. No group of organisms gives more energy toward guarding their eggs than octopus mothers. Octopuses sometimes lay hundreds of thousands of small and translucent eggs in a single batch, so there are many reasons to make sure they remain safe until they are ready to hatch. In most species of octopus, the mother will create a den, often dragging rocks around it to ensure it is safe before laying her eggs. Once the eggs are deposited, the mother octopus will cling to the top of the den and gently fan the eggs to make sure they get the right amount of oxygen. Then she waits. Without feeding, the mother octopus stays in the den to guard the eggs for months. One deep-sea octopus was observed guarding its eggs for 4 years. Such a long time without food is catastrophic for the mother. She slowly begins to die as she watches over her eggs. The usual strong colors of the octopus fade to a sickly white. She will not live long enough to care for her young. When the tiny baby octopuses hatch, they immediately swim away to begin their struggle to survive into adulthood. Had you visited the island of Madagascar a little over 1,000 years ago, you might have encountered a bird so large that it is called the elephant bird. The largest example of the elephant bird stood around 10 feet, 3 meters, tall, easily dwarfing the largest humans. You would expect the large bird to lay large eggs, and you would not be wrong. Elephant bird eggs are the biggest of any vertebrate species that we know of. Each egg could reach up to 16 inches, 40 centimeters, in length and hold as much as 120 chicken eggs. To produce even one of these eggs would have been extremely expensive for the elephant bird mother. So if they were stolen or destroyed, it was a costly loss. No more elephant birds exist, but no one is entirely sure why. Some researchers blame climate change for the loss of habitat for the birds, but others think the human inhabitants of Madagascar are the ones who drove elephant birds to extinction. If mother elephant birds had guarded their nests, it would have to be a brave hunter who tried to raid them.